Oh, okay. Give me a minute here. I need to open Streamlink because yeah, I disconnected. I had to disconnect it real quick. Disconnect. I had to do something real quick. Yeah, those that are just joining, yeah, just kind of give it a minute because I gotta open Streamlink back up. Oh, I have it open. What the hell? Uh, yeah, restart. Yeah, now it should open VLC.
It will be my final stream of the week before I have my day off on Thursday. And what are we doing on Wednesday night? I don't know. I'm leaving it open. Here's the possibilities. More Fall Guys. Like, let's say we play Fall Guys tonight. We really like the new stuff, and I want to do more right away. We could do more Wednesday night. Or more Genshin Impact, which I just returned to this week as a chill stream. People seem to like chilling with me, although last night, admittedly, outside of a very generous subscriber bomb that Only Iced Coffee left here that made us jump a big chunk of subscribers. Outside of that, contributions were like almost non-existent. Cheers were low, tips were incredibly low.
Nice snort.
And people were like, "Oh, maybe you shouldn't have brought back this game. It's too late. People wanted to see you play this in the fall."
Dude.
Like, yeah, but in the fall there was
Phil,
10 other new games. So those
when you called the weapons pointless,
but there's no rush to play, right?
Nice snort.
So maybe I don't
Jeez,
know.
how many
That's what I mean.
snorts is he
I'm
gonna do
debating,
today?
should I keep playing Genshin Impact or not? I guess the next
Yeah.
time I play it, it'll help determine whether or not we keep playing it or not. Because if people aren't going to support the streams, then
Phil,
I'm
you
gonna try to
called
find something that
the
people wanna see.
weapons
You know what I'm saying?
pointless
So
when
we'll
you
find out.
could have
Anyway,
just
it could be
used
there
them
Wednesday
to
night.
enhance
Or
the ones
we
you
could just do more
have.
Call of Duty. We could do 2 nights in a row of Call of Duty, which I'd be okay with. I really enjoy Call of Duty, especially now that I'm getting all the new attachments unlocked and everything. Seems to be a good time.
Nice sniff.
So I'd be okay with that. All right, but anyway, that's the streaming week. I'm off on Thursday, and then of course next week we're just going to continue on with all the stuff that I've been doing. There'll be more Divinity, more Danganronpa, more Ghosts and Goblins, Street Fighter, Call of Duty, Fall Guys, possibly Genshin. That's the mix. That'll be next week. Don't know what my next day off will be. I'll let you know as soon as I know. Okay?
Nice snort.
Fair enough? Okay, that's the schedule. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be honest with all of you. Last night was a pretty dud of a stream, except for the very generous contribution from Only Iced Coffee of those subs. Outside of that, it was really slow. I'm hoping that today, for today's stream, I can make up.
Guilt tripping his audience.
Last night's stream was incredibly slow for support. All right? So if you like what I'm doing today, please, by all means, support it. Cheer, sub, tip. Remember, we're trying to hit a tier 2 subs goal for the month. If we hit the tier 2 subs goal, when I do the gaming challenge run marathon, which will be coming up likely the first week of April, we're going to be doing a special episode of DSP Tries It. What will it be? I don't know. But it should be special because there's a lot of new things that have come in fast food recently that people have asked me to check out. So please consider subbing if you have not. Please consider gifting a subscription if you want to help out the channel and you already have a sub. We're trying to hit 775 subs by the end of the month, and we've got 8 days to go. Let me think. 30 days plus September, April, June, November. No, 31. So 9 days to go this month. Okay. Of course, I'm not here every single day, but you get the gist of what I'm trying to say. Okay. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your support. You guys know I'm an independent content creator. You guys know that I depend on your crowdfunding support to make ends meet. I don't have any sponsorships with any companies to shill anything, and I don't have any kind of a exclusive streaming contract with Twitch or YouTube or anyone to make money for turning on my stream. That's why it's so important for you to support the streams if you can, if you like the content, okay? And
contributions are mandatory.
I really appreciate it. Please understand that contributions are not mandatory, nor are they expected.
Sure.
Stream regardless of if I can make money doing it or not, because gaming
sure, Phil.
I've absolutely loved over the past 12 plus years being able to share my gameplay experiences with all of you. It wasn't ever about making a paycheck. I just kind of stumbled into it, right? But for those who do support the streams, thank you so much in advance for any support that you lend. You know, you help me out tremendously, and you allow me to continue to do what I love for a living. I totally understand. I'm one of the most lucky people around because I get to do my true passion as my job. All right? And I love that. Thank you for that. All right.
Yep.
So really quickly, a few quick things before we get
so you enjoy being bankrupt. Yep. You enjoy being bankrupt.
I'm very upset today. I'm incredibly upset. I'm angry as hell, and I want to vent.
Aw, boo-hoo. Poor piggy.
Okay.
Really?
So we'll talk about that in a minute. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you are a frequenter of my streams and you're someone who watches the streams and is maybe even thinking of contributing, I have a few tips for you to try to help you out to stop online harassment. Number one, please make sure that your Twitch stream name is not the same as a name that you use on other accounts such as social media. Sadly, there are trolls out there who are no-life losers.
Yep. The trolls. Oh, the horror.
They may follow you to other sites.
Nice snort.
To try to continue the harassment. You don't want that. So diversify your Twitch persona from everything else. In addition,
open direct permaban.
They are just an open avenue for harassment. Frequently,
they're just an open avenue for harassment.
After the fact, and it's very annoying. I recommend closing off open DMs. Instead, I have it set up that you can actually
nice snort.
You can set it so that only people on your friends list can DM you, and that's what I recommend you do. Okay. We have tips goals in effect today. If we raise $50 in tips, I'll put on my gunner glasses. If we raise $100 in tips, I'll put on a vest.
Nice throat clear.
Yesterday, it was the red vest that I wore. So today we'll reset it, and all other vests will be eligible, including beige, blue, platinum, camo, and gray. Okay? Of course, we do have tier 2 and tier 3.
Nice sniff. Jeez.
If we, raise higher levels of tips, but I won't talk about those.
Jeez.
Get closer to them. Okay?
How many snorts? Nice snort again.
Now, if you are considering tipping me today, please create a verified PayPal account. A verified PayPal account.
Contributions are mandatory.
PayPal so can verify you're a real person who actually exists. It puts in added protections for me.
And Phil says
fraud.
They're not.
I had so much fraud against me in late 2020.
Yeah, sure.
Credit cards regularly screwing me over. It really hurt me in my business behind the scenes. So please understand that's why I asked that you do this. If you have a verified PayPal account, I know I can trust your tip.
Phil, you've committed tax fraud yourself.
Verify if it's real and all kinds of stuff.
You've committed fraud and perjury yourself. Please.
If you are a frequent stream viewer,
nice
and you're going to
snort.
tip me regularly, which some people do, and thank you to those who do, please consider doing a code word system. Meaning, when you give me your message along with your tip, you use a code word so I recognize it's really you. And since I know it's you and I can trust you, I can just immediately give a shout out.
Yeah, give a code word so Phil can verify you.
Actually worked
can quote unquote verify you actually.
In the last 2 weeks, several people have done this, and now we just go whoop right into the streams, which is great.
Nice snort.
Okay, so good stuff. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's it for the plugs. We're done. I've turboed through them. We're 16 minutes into the pre-stream, and I've covered pretty much everything I wanted to cover. Now I've got this news story I want to talk about. I'm going to be very upset. Okay?
Nice snort.
So prepare yourselves. The rumor is, and I do say it's a rumor, although it seems like people are saying internal sources at Sony are confirming this. As of July.
Oh, I thought he was still mad about the
Sony
getting exposed.
Shut down the digital stores and marketplaces for the following consoles: PlayStation 3, PlayStation Portable, and PlayStation Vita. What does that mean?
Wow.
It means if you have any of these consoles and you boot them up and you connect to PlayStation Store, it will give you an error message and it will no longer exist.
Nice snort.
What the fuck? I'm upset. Allow me to explain to you why I'm upset. Not that because I use them all the time. I don't. Okay, I don't frequently
Yeah, sure.
and sit there on the PlayStation Store downloading games. All right, but
Nice snort.
the cool thing about
Oh, 3 permabans now.
Is that
holy shit?
the fact that I'm a variety streamer. I'm not someone who sits and plays a certain genre of game. I'm not someone who focuses in on only one thing. Is that we have these special events. We have viewers' choice playthroughs. We have marathons, right? And during said events, people are able to nominate and vote on games for me to play. And frequently, during certain events, like for example, during a horror marathon for Halloween, or doing a indies marathon, or doing sometimes there's a classics rageathon. My God, the rageathon, right? Usually,
Begathon.
Some, if not a major chunk of the games that we end up playing during those events are older games. Games from PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, and PlayStation 3 era, okay? Currently, right now, there's only a few ways to play those games. One would be to actually physically own the consoles of PlayStation 1, 2, or 3, and then physically buy the games and boot them up and then find a way to capture from those consoles into a modern capture and streaming setup. That is incredibly unrealistic, especially for the legacy consoles like PS1, PS2. They don't even have HDMI out. It's not easy to get any kind of a converter to allow them to have video ripped from them, okay? It's just not easy. I mean, good luck finding a working PS1, right? That's reliable, that you can play games on and everything. In addition, let's be honest here. Does anyone want to sit there for the loading times of the original PS1 or PS2? Of course not, right? You don't want to be working on legacy technology of actual using physical motors and discs to run this shit. You want to use digital.
Nice snort.
Now, in addition to that, the other way to play these would be to try to buy a classic throwback console. For example, remember PlayStation Classic, that huge flop that happened?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, PlayStation Classic was a giant flop because it basically was just...
Which is why they should have just...
...a fake PlayStation console, and it ran the games like shit. People were saying actually playing the original games or emulated...
Funny enough, you can actually go into the menu
PlayStation Classic console.
of
So
the
thing was a huge dud. No one bought it, and stores had thousands of these fucking
the PlayStation Classic.
Going to Best Buy,
You can go to the menu for PCSX Rearmed and actually change the settings to make it run perfect.
So they had them just sitting there, and at one
To make it
point
run
they were selling
well.
for like $20. Okay.
Nice snort though.
The only real viable way to play legacy Sony games right now is via the digital store on PlayStation 3, right? Going on the store and say, oh, I want to play Dino Crisis. Look, it's there, PS1. Download and play on your PS3. Now,
Yeah.
play? Yes. You're playing a game.
Yes, Phil,
that was
we
meant to be
know.
played on a not digital high
It's the same on the Vita.
screen. And so there's going to be some delay there when it's running the game. And I've played all the classic Resident Evils. I've played Dino Crisis. I didn't beat Dino Crisis, but I played Dino Crisis. I played the classic Spyro 1. I played the original Crash Bandicoot 1 and 2. Right? I've played a lot of games, classic PlayStation games, on PlayStation 3 via the store. In fact, right now, on my PlayStation 3, I have Final Fantasy VII sitting there, waiting to be played one day. I had it from years and years ago.
You played Remake. You're good.
Project 7 over a decade ago. I had Final Fantasy VII downloaded and ready to go, and one day, I swear to God, I'm going to play that game. Okay? So,
Nice snort.
the point that I'm making is, because I'm a variety streamer, and because Sony has always allowed these classic PlayStation games to be downloaded via the PlayStation Store and played on PS3, it has given me a big amount of accessibility to old games. If the rumor is true and Sony shuts down the PlayStation Store over the course of the summer, literally every single old game
Nice
will be
sniff.
unaccessible. Anything that was never ported to PlayStation 4 or 5 will become completely inaccessible overnight.
Nice snort.
Now you might argue, well, what about PlayStation 3 playing PlayStation 1 and 2 discs, right? That was a thing, right? It was, but it was only the very first wave of PlayStation 3s. What ended up happening was, if you remember, Sony selling that goddamn thing for $599 US. Everyone complained the console was way too expensive, so they needed to find ways to cut corners and lower the cost of production. So they immediately decided the first thing to go was playing those backwards compatible, discs. So every other wave of PlayStation 3 after that didn't have it, including my first PlayStation 3 that I bought didn't have it. So good luck trying to find a backwards compatible PlayStation 3 that runs the discs. In addition, let's be honest here. Some of the most popular
You can probably find them on eBay.
from PlayStation 1 and 2 era.
And
These
Amazon
are
if you're lucky
collector's
for a good
items.
price.
Good luck finding copies of the original Resident Evils, Clock Tower. You know what I mean? Some of these games.
Or you can
they
just
sell
get
for a ridiculous amount of
EPSXE
money
and just
because over the
emulate
years,
Phil.
these discs wore out.
Nice snort.
So good luck trying to find viable copies to even run on a console to begin with. You see? So by Sony taking away the store, they're basically shutting out a huge part of history, gaming history. And you know what? Timbo Slice made a good point this morning.